Cooperation over competition. Now, I want to speak on this for a second. And I want to talk about now competition. America's built on competition. A lot of people, feel like, we need more competition in the world. They saying that competition there's not enough competition. Some people say we need more competition. Some people say the best solution in life is to have a competitive spirit. And so I just want to speak on I believe competition is like a drug. It's a drug, meaning it's it has side effects that come along with it. It could be a positive thing, but you got to know how to balance it out. It's like, for example, imagine if someone had a problem and they're saying that their head hurts, and you got pains in your head, and someone says, "Well, here's the pill, and your head will stop hurting." You take the pill, you say, "Oh man, this feels good. My head doesn't hurt." But what they didn't tell you is if you overdose and take too many of those pills, it could fuck up your kidneys, your bladder. In fact, it'll even kill you. So, you know, this is where you got to learn to have balance. And that's what competition can do with people. Competition can be a good thing because it makes us want to keep ourselves strong, right? We want to be able to go it brings the best of us out of each other when you feel like, man, I got to be the best version of me. But I want you to keep in mind, with me, I got a couple of reasons why I view competition a little in my own way. First, I believe that when you do what God wants you to do, then there is no real competition. Your only competition is yourself and outperforming you. You only one person that holds yourself back, right? Because you're doing what God naturally designed you to do. Okay, so no one else can compete with you because you got your own skills and your own mission. All right, so that's one. But two, I believe when it comes to competition, like it can be good for a person that is like on a low level, you don't have nothing and you're just trying to get something. And let's say, for instance, you broke, you don't have money. You just like, okay, I need to start a new job. I need to compete to get the job. All right, cool. You got the job now. Now you want to be you on the sales team. You want to be the best person on the sales team. So now you're hustling and okay, I want to be number one. I want to make my mark, make my name. You want to get a position. Bam. So now you got your position, your slot in history, or you got your slot on the team. You make X amount of percentages. You got your spot. Competition got you there. But if you want to go to the next level and you want to really accelerate, you have to begin to somewhat change your view of competition. And now you have to view more of cooperation. And this is what I mean. Like in America, is very efficient with building competitors, but it comes with a great cost. America, we have the best sort of homes. We can be able to produce. Think about the amount of food that Americans eat every day. It's because America has developed an amazing, efficient system of killing a lot of animals. Think about how many chickens have to be born and killed every single day just in a major city, in one major city like Chicago. Think about how many animals have to die just to be able to feed just for one restaurant. Now, when you multiply that through the entire city, all of the restaurants that's selling, let's say, chicken or eggs or whatever product, whatever they selling, think about that. Now, at what cost does that come? You're competitive. You got the lowest prices if you're selling that chicken, but it comes at the cost of now, what are we doing with the pollution that's going in the air? What are we doing with all of the sacrifices for the people that you're also destroying because you're putting hormones and stuff in the food, and now you got to lower the quality of the food because you want to get the best price on it. So competition causes people to not think about the greater good of the community, and they can start harming people because you only think about the bottom line. And now you begin to get cutthroat. Like I could think of plenty of times where when I was competing very, very aggressively, I would do some cutthroat stuff sometimes, not intentionally because I'm not a cutthroat person, but it was all about, man, I gotta meet my numbers. I gotta do it. And sometimes you make decisions that are not in the best interest of the people you're taking advantage of people. I'll say that. So here's the thing. At some point, it's more about cooperation. Let's get back to that point. So cooperation is that usually the people that compete the most are people who are subservient to others. Like you trying to get a position, right? It's someone else that's controlling you, that's making you compete. So you're like, I'm competing, I'm in this job, I got to be the best. It's not enough, for me. I got to do whatever I got to do. Only the strong survive, right? That's the mindset that we believe we must have. But at some point, you got to realize if you don't cooperate with like-minded people, if you're not working with other people that have the same interests as you, then you're going to be stuck in that competition cycle, and eventually you're going to burn yourself out. And not only that, but you're going to kill yourself as well as hurt the rest of your community, because you never fix that cost or the negative that you was messing up by competing. So you have to think about, if I want to make a better system, it has to be one where I don't have to compete as hard. Imagine if you're in a system where everyone is using their unique ability, their unique strengths. So no one is really competing against each other because we're all focusing on doing things that we're naturally great at. And so we're just pushing each other to do those things. Now it begins to get to a point where now we can create a whole new system. That's just like rappers. I heard KRS-One, he was talking about it. Like in the rap industry, imagine on the music industry, the rap industry, instead of the divisions of South rap, Southern rappers, Northern rappers, East Coast rappers, what if all of the rappers created their own currency, or their own currency, and said, well, when we create products, we're going to exchange our own currency, like a Bitcoin or whatever that currency may be. So don't pay me in dollars, pay me in this this currency that we've all created and agreed upon is valuable. Now that we've created our own currency, now that same currency can now compete with other currencies like the dollar or the euro, right? And so now our currency has more value. And if everyone started, it's like if you're playing a Monopoly game. When you play the game of Monopoly, everybody starts out with some money, the same amount of money, right? And so everybody feels good because we all got some money. We all got something. And then imagine if we now have control, because we can now determine what's worth what. So we got to have a balance, because if we don't, we're going to continue to be creating problems that we don't have a long-term answer to. And it's going to be killing us, killing the future generations, and ultimately just repeating the cycle of destruction and death. So we got to do something more powerful than that, more efficient, not efficient, but effective than that. So that's where cooperation comes in. You don't need everybody to cooperate. Just a small group, 300 people, 20% of people, all on the same page.